Hello. Um, we are going to go over today, just so in case you haven't had a chance to really dive into the chapters. Um, but I just wanted to give you a general overview. So, in crime and torts, I think probably the most appropriate area to start is discussing, what are they and what are the difference. So, crimes are laws that violations of laws that result into some sort of um, removal of personal liberties. This usually happens in the context of imprisonment. Um, torts are civil discrepancies between parties. And the result usually ends up in some sort of liabilities, meaning monetary damages. So as you go through these two chapters, that is the primary distinguishment. So with crimes, we're talking about everything from assault and battery to crimes of passion, which are dealing with murder, um, and manslaughter and so forth. But in order for an act to be a crime, there are two things that must occur. There has to be referred to as mens rea, which is the mental intent of the individual, and actus rea, meaning that the act was coupled with the mental intent. And those are two important elements that all crimes must have, with some minor exceptions. Um, and it distinguishes it a little bit from the civil issues. In civil torts, we are looking at specific elements to address some sort of harm that was caused by a party. So another distinguishment between crime and torts are who are the potential parties that can bring a cause of action forth. In crime, it is the state and only the state that can bring a cause of action against a defendant. In civil cases, tort cases, the party can be literally anyone, individual to individual, individual to company, company to individual, individual to government, government to individual, and all the other possible combination. Any party can bring a cause of action forth. Now, on the crime side, we have to have a violation of statute, and the individual must have had mens rea and actus rea, and in order to bring a cause of action or to call it a criminal violation. There are a slew of other things that are different between criminal and civil, but one of the most obvious ones that's talked about are the burdens of proof. And we all know, we've heard the cliche, you have to prove your case beyond a reasonable doubt. So that's referred to burden of proof. In civil cases, the burden of proof is preponderance of the evidence, which just means more likely the other party is right than the other party defending themselves. Okay? So 51% versus 49% sufficient to get a liable cause of action. Beyond a reasonable doubt, the standard is a lot higher. We don't have a specific percentage, but in the abstract, probably 60%, 70% of the burden of proof, meaning that more likely you did it than you didn't. So the other point I wanted to make to just get you introduced to is that as you go through your tort causes of actions that are very similar to crime, for example, you could have an assault that's criminal, and you can have an assault that's a tort cause of action, a battery. A negligence, which is more unique to torts, although there are some negligence criminal conducts. Um, but negligence, for example, is um, any kind of tort, personal or to person or to property. It has four elements. It has the element of duty, breach of duty, actual and proximate cause, and damage. So when we're talking about negligence, we're looking at those four types of elements to prove a cause of action. That's referred to as a prima facie case, meaning that on the face of it, there is a cause of action. If you can demonstrate that those four elements exist in the cause of action. Okay? So hopefully this is just enough to get you started in when you're reading the two chapters and understanding the difference. Let me know if you have any questions or any other areas that you would like for me to focus on, and I'll definitely try to post some videos on those topics. All right. Keep up the good work, and I look forward to seeing you in the class. Thank you.